Hello and welcome everyone. How are you this week? Lovely to have you with me for the Emperor. And who have we got? Hi Victor, how are you doing? Oh, he's excited about seeing the Emperor. And so am I. How wonderful. Hi, how are you doing? Hello August, how are you? Hello, and thank you for saying hi to everybody. That's so lovely of you. Thank you so much indeed. So, we are going to be dealing with the Emperor this evening and going on all about that lovely big card, the Emperor in the Major Arcana, and little bits of facts and knowledge for you as a reader that you may or may not know, or just a reminder, or if you know something, please do share it with us or ask questions. At any point, I'm quite happy to take questions. You can always jump on and join us. There's a link here. Bear with me. So if you do want to join, all you've got to do is type a message in the actual comments, and we'll see if we can bring you up and bring you in. If not, just type your lovely questions in the comment area so that we can all see, and hopefully share what you know, or ask questions. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, everybody. I don't know how I share those, but we have got plenty there. So here's the Emperor, number 4 in the Major Arcana Tarot. The Emperor, what does he stand for? Well, if you look, he sits alone, very much alone, and it's a hard job to be on your own, isn't it? And he sits on a throne that looks like it's made of concrete, quite icy cold. Gone are all the cushions from the Empress we did last week. Now the Empress had her cushions, which symbolise she likes her creature comforts, she likes beauty, she likes to be comfortable, and she's very nurturing. So she wants to be comfortable and she wants others to be comfortable also. The difference is here that our guy, the Emperor, is actually somebody that knows he's just got to have somewhere to sit down and get on with it, because the Emperor is all about logic, and it's all about being able to do the job in task. Hi Carla, hi, how are you? Lovely to see you, Carla. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you along. And so with no further ado, please do feel welcome. Everybody say hi to Carla. Lovely to have you. Thanks very much indeed from that. So let's just bring that down. So if we look, he is sitting on that wonderful throne. Sorry, I'm just moving my controls for a minute so I can see what's going on. Thank you. And so he sits there on that throne. And all that's really there, if you look, are ram's heads carved out just where he sort of rests his arms and on the top of the throne. Now, the ram. Oh, thanks, Carla. Thank you so much. That's really lovely of you. It's good to be back too. Oh, look, there's Victor saying hi. Lovely. So the ram's heads are in conjunction with the astrological association of this card, which is Aries. But the planet that it's associated with is Mars. Okay, and if we look at the background behind the throne, bright orange, and that is to do with that fiery energy of Mars and that fiery energy of Aries. Aries, of course, being the first astrological sign out in the zodiac. So what does that mean? Well, it means that they are strong and capable and full of new beginnings. Okay, and like the planet Mars, I beg your pardon, very, very strong and prepared to go to war. So let's just look at what the Emperor's wearing. He's got a suit of armour, and that suit of armour is, number one, it's protection. And number two, it's showing that he has been in a position previously to do battle, and he has gone through things, navigated life, and he wears that because he has the authority to do so. So it's symbolic of somebody that's navigated a lot of obstacles and probably come up with a few answers. So the emperor sits there with his suit of armour for protection and to show his authority, which is, you know what, I've been through this life, I've navigated. The other thing that we can see about the emperor is the white beard and the white hair, significant of and symbolic of maturity, experience, you know? And so that maturity and that experience, hi Ugus, hi, how are you? Lovely to have you, welcome, welcome. You are good at kind of following. I'm so pleased, everybody. I'm just going to make myself a little bit more comfortable. My seat's a little bit higher than the table, so I'll sit at an angle if I may. So yes, he sits there with this cold throne because this is somewhere to sit. This is somewhere for me to do the job in hand, the task in hand, and somebody's got to do it, and it's not meant to be comfortable. And I'm all about logic. Aries is not always about logic, I can assure you, but the emperor is, okay? It's just the astrological association, okay? So you've got this wonderful, wonderful emperor sitting there. Notice the blue sleeves. That is for calm, peace, reassurance, and it's also the colour of the throat chakra, which is communication. So his communication will be logical, it will be disciplined, it will be stern. You know, if you are worried about what to remember about the emperor, I would actually say, think of it as someone who's the boss. Somebody that's prepared to take responsibility, somebody who's going to get the task in hand done. And they will do so with the discipline and an authority, which is very, very much like the daddy of the tarot. So we met the mother, which is the empress, and now we're meeting the father figure of the tarot, which is the emperor. And combined, his logic and her nurture and her beauty and empathy balance the fact that the emperor has got to be the person that says we've got to get things done and we've got to do so with intelligence, and I've got to weigh up all the facts before I come to a decision, and then when we've got that decision it will be based on the facts and it won't be based on emotion, and it won't be to do with me having popularity, and it won't be to do with me feeling that I have adoring fans that are ready to congratulate me. It just needs doing. And that is the emperor. He is very different from our mother figure, the empress, who we saw that so many things, beauty, value, physical beauty, motherhood, gentleness, you know, fertility. The emperor is the one that's saying we've got to run a business, or we've got to run a country, or we've got to run an organisation, or I've got to actually run this enterprise or this family or the finance, whatever it is. You know, this is what it's all about. Okay. Carla. Right. Let's put this on. Question. Okay. Just going to try and make that a wee bit bigger. Let's put it there for now. Okay. So, when the emperor comes up in a reading for myself, does this mean I'm a good leader? Absolutely. Absolutely what it means. It means you can lead. It means that you are somebody who is disciplined. It means you are somebody... My controls keep disappearing, so if I need to do something, I haven't got it, so sorry about that. I need to just keep waking them up. Yes, it means, Carla, that you are able to actually be the boss. You are able to be a good leader, you know, a manager, or, you know, the father of the group or the family or the big brother, or the person that's actually probably, people say, oh gosh, you're a bit of a killjoy. But you're not a killjoy, because things need doing. And we need someone to get these things done. And we look to people like you, if it's come up as you in a reading, Carla, for that to happen. So it does make you a good leader. It's exactly what this card is about. It's about leading, it's about connecting, and it's very much about being a very strong, masculine type energy, mature, bold, passionate, someone who represents authority and action. You know, look at his lovely, rich, luxury robes. It's absolutely gorgeous, as in the colours, red or russet or orange, you know, tan. Well, all of those mean, you know, the astrological association to Mars, I beg your pardon, to Aries and to the planet Mars, but it's that fiery energy. And if we look in the background behind the throne, you can just about see in this actual card that there are mountains, and the mountains are, he knows that there are obstacles, okay, and those obstacles will come. They represent challenges. You know, you need to climb the mountain to be able to get there. But let's look at his throne. It actually looks as if it's kind of hovering above almost the mountains. Can you see what I'm saying? They're behind him, or is he elevated above the mountains and they sit in the backdrop? Well, he may have actually already climbed those mountains and dealt with those challenges, and no doubt there'll be more of them, that's for sure. So our emperor is somebody that's very clued up, okay? If we look at his crown and we see the jewels there, and some decks have different sort of stones in the actual crown, the crown is actually to say that's his authority, and that, you know, he does deserve the right to wear that crown. Look at him. He is facing us. So if you've got a reading, he's looking at you and he's saying, hold on a minute, I'm holding my gaze, don't look away from me, I'm talking to you, and, you know, I demand respect. I don't want you to thank me, but I want you to respect me, I want you to listen, and I want you to actually know that this is what we're going to do based on all of the information. And those jewels in this particular deck are, some of them are white, some of them are red, as you can see in his crown there. And the red is for the passion and for the confidence, and the white is for the purity. The blue on his sleeves is for calmness. The red again in his tunic is passion, confidence, drive, ambition, determination. The orange is, the orange sky behind means I'm also fiery, I'm passionate, but I'm fiery. And I can be like that amber traffic light, that I can suddenly change. You know, if you, and it's not because they're bad-tempered or hot-tempered, don't misjudge that. It takes a lot for him to lose control, because remember, this is about control, this is about self-discipline, yeah? So it's really, really good. Okay, another question of goods. Wow, this is lovely. I keep getting the Emperor card, and when I pull it out of the deck, what does it mean? It means that you're probably facing some challenges, and that you need to be in that place where you can be absolutely certain of your own decisions. It means you really are in a place of being able to get things done seriously, to be seen, to be heard, to be understood, and more to go with your head rather than your heart, goods. So it means that when this is coming up, it's telling you, you know what, you do have all the answers, the logic is there, apply logic, not emotion, okay? Oh, wow. So logic coming up here, and you know, it's about serving situations really well, goods, and being productive, and it means that you have all of this lined up, and that you are able to achieve, and not to hide your light under a bushel, for you to actually say, this is my time. You know, Also, I want to say, just pay notice to the rams once again, because rams in tarot are all about the fact that we are able to know that this is a really good time for us. It's all about being innovative. It's all about being able to actually move forwards to achieve your desires and let your mind dominate over your emotions. So Ram just goes right in, you see. Quite an exciting character as well. But, you know, the blue that we see in his tunic on his arms there, as he lays his arms on the throne, that I feel sorry for him on that cold concrete throne. It shows that he has integrity, calmness, and devotion and stability. And that's what I'd say to you, because that's what it's about. It's about trust that you are more than capable. Oh, wow, Victor, you got him coming up 3 times this week. Can it be a sign that Spirit's trying to tell you something? Look at it that your tarot is actually logically communicating with you. And yes, for you to use your mind and your head over your emotions, to use that integrity, to be the warrior. You know, be protected, you know, as you go out there and you use logic. You may actually find that not everybody is a fan of what you're saying or doing. That doesn't matter. You know what? What we think people think about us, they don't think, they may think it for a moment, of course, but they don't keep wandering around, so don't be hurt by that. Maybe it's saying to you to wear your suit of armour and to do things with confidence and let your head rule things, and your lovely heart from the Empress. It's really, really good. A girls. Should I be a leader? Absolutely. This is definitely about leading. Most definitely it's about leading. It's about taking that on. Leading enterprises of any kind. It might be leading the family, it might be leading the team, you might be leading a group, you might be enterprising with a hobby and going, do you know what, I do have a full-time job, but I am going to actually set up this enterprise. It's a very enterprising card. And so, love this. A leader as well, but look at that. Does it mean I will be self-employed? It means that you're enterprising enough to actually to get to that point of self-employment, very much, especially if this comes up in yourself, and especially if this is coming up as in with Pentacles, and it's coming up in the 6th house, which is the house of work, or the house of yourself, which is the 1st house, or the 2nd house, which is finances. It could also come up in hobbies, you know, and it came up for me in hobbies many, many years ago, saying that I should develop like the Emperor and use logic to turn my hobby into an enterprise, and that's exactly what I did. Hello, Sherry. Hi, how are you? Absolutely lovely. Sherry, welcome. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great day there. I know it's early in the States. I think that's where you're from. If not, it's Canada, North America. And you remind me, Sherry, you know, really nice for people to say where they're coming from. I really do adore that. You know, I am always curious about that. Where in the world are you and how is it all going? Right. Thanks for the answer, Anne-Marie. You're going to be lurking and reading in the book. You can't wait to do the test soon. Oh, bless you. He's testing himself beautifully. Well, you know, Victor, I think we can send you a little PDF for all your wonderful sort of help. We'll get that organised for you. I'll be showing that PDF. Victor, let me know which one you'd like. You're always an absolute star. US, Michigan. Michigan, absolutely gorgeous in the US. So that's probably, you're probably in the morning, aren't you? As it's probably somewhere in your morning, which is why I choose to come in at this time, so that hopefully we can actually blend a little bit of the US, Canada, parts of Europe and the UK, all combined. Oh, Guz, you're more than welcome. Absolutely. It's really exciting, and I love how you're asking the questions, everybody, because it's you're welcome. So, Victor, I'm going to be showing a PDF shortly, and there's two. You can have the one that shows all the little arrows to all the symbols that I've pointed out on the card for you, like the ram's head, the crown, the beard. It's all very simple to look at. Or you can have the one of the little white book, which is keywords. You're more than welcome. Okay, right, bear with me. What a great question. Yes, it does mean you will be like a father figure, depending on where it comes through. But that's a really good energy, Carla, for you to be able to say, to be kind, to be firm, to be in a place where you are just and fair, impartial, and it can mean that you are going to be like a father figure. And that could be that you're connecting with your own father. That can be that you're the daddy, or will be at some point, or that you need to deal with matters in a fatherly way, which is with discipline, firmness, kindness, maybe the traditional ways of providing for people. And it's absolutely amazing to actually think of things like that. I really like that. And sometimes we need to be motherly and full of empathy, and sometimes we need to actually be very logical, and that does better for people because we're providing solutions to real problems that's really going to help them out. Oh, Sherry, it's 12:21 in the afternoon. Do you know, this is the kind of information that I love. So if you let me know where you're from, I don't mean your address, I don't mean that. But the curiosity of kind of knowing the times, because then that helps me work out, are we at the right time of day for you, you know, as in, and I think that we are, as in, I hope so. We can't please all of the folks all of the time, and there is the catch up. But Sherry, I am so blessed. You've always followed me for such a long time, and I'm so grateful. And I know that you've really took in what's going on, and you get on with your work in the background. You've told me that before. I know that. I hope that you have a really lovely sort of lunch and whatever it is that you're having to drink. Mine's water, sláinte, as my father would say. He's Irish, and yeah, all the very best to you. Cheers. Okay, right. Oh, hi. Well, that's absolutely lovely. You thought you'd join the live. Okay. That would be really nice, Passionate Sagi. Very welcome. Can we say welcome to Passionate Sagi? Before we try and bring you on, whether it's today or the next time, right. I've got such a lovely question here. Now I need to wait for the combination video for my next question. You are a star. You are starting to follow the formula that I'm giving to you, Guz, and that's exactly what it is. We're kind of doing the educational points of one card, and then we're moving along then to show you how to use that card with the method that I actually use, which is combination cards, because it will give you great depth. Okay, right. Oh, that's absolutely lovely. So here we are. We've got Carla's from Surrey and Victor's from Sweden. You're absolutely divine. I wonder if you can tell where I'm from by my British accent. Actually, I am from Yorkshire, and I lost my accent perhaps because I needed to be able to, they're working in London, didn't always understand my accent. certain things. And I did work with children that were going to public schools, and so it was important that I tried to actually teach them to speak correctly. So yeah, I have perhaps a neutral accent. It's been an acquired one over many, many years. So I absolutely love how everybody's telling me that. So the passionate Sagi, can you tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing with the tarot? Meanwhile, there's something else I wanted to talk about, what he's holding in his hands. Well, you know, let's just look at the fact that they are really, really sort of two beautiful golden sort of pieces. And in his left hand, he's got an orb. And this is symbolic of law and responsibility. So that stands for rules and regulations, doesn't it? You know, that little orb that he's got there, and that's in his left hand, yes. Sorry, just had to think for a minute. Okay. And emperors always hold supreme power. They've got no nonsense. So that's kind of why we've got this word, the emperor. There's a direct insight into situations. They lead empires, of course. So, you know, this is what this is all about. In his left hand, that orb is about being taken seriously, about how he rules the world, and it's about law and logic. Now, in the right hand, we've got this, what looks like a wand with, you know, an Egyptian symbology on the top. And it is an Egyptian ankh, and that's symbolic for physical life being a representation of the spiritual life. So what we gain from our physical life transfers into our spiritual life and goes on into the afterlife. So that's what that's symbolic of. But it's also, in his creative hand, it's his emotional self that's linking to the power that he's holding on to. This will make him very, very profound in what he does. So when this card comes up, isn't it lovely? You know, if this comes up and you're asking about yourself, and it comes up in your physical self, or, you know, you're asking a question about business or career, it's absolutely superb to get the Emperor, because it's helping you in every single way possible to actually say, use your logic, you know, it's exactly what it's about. Ah, you're in London too, Passionate Sagi. Okay, right, bear with me, okay. Can you just give us an idea, Passionate Sagi, if you're new to tarot, or whether or not you've got you know, a little knowledge or experience that you could talk about the Emperor with a little bit? It would be really, really nice to actually know. I'm going to actually put this PDF on, and Victor, from here, you can tell me what you think, okay? So, hopefully, there you go. Right, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. Oh! Love, 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 love this. I really, really like what you're saying, Passionate Sagi. I'm going to turn around. Thank you so much for the description. Right, tarot keywords, okay. Bear with me for a moment, Passionate Sagi. Okay, I thought I was going to have the lovely Zoe on tonight, but she's not very well, so I will have to just very quickly sort of set up a scene. But here's keywords. If anybody wants my PDF, as in downloaded from the website tarotwithannemarie.com, where you'll find all of my courses and the methods that I use and the extensive way in which I read tarot. So these are the keywords, as in, and they are professional keywords. You won't really find these in other books. You may do, but, you know, take a lot of searching. So that's that one. And this is the other one that I was talking about. Okay, so that's, can you see that what I've done is I've put these together for you, and they are worksheets. So you can kind of see that I've gone into just pointing at, what's there, as in what it all means, the throne, the colours, the planets, the astrological signs, whatever you want. And I did put reversed up on there for you to actually look at. But I do not read reverse cards, and there is a very big reason for that. Now, I'm just going to turn around and say, please bear with me, because I'm trying to change scenes. Okay, so we have, bear with me, Passionate Sagi, if you would like to come on, let's copy the link. Bear with me. Okay, I was already time and time again with our link to bear with me. Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to bring it up. I was ready for Zoe to come on, and when she said she wasn't coming on, I thought, oh, I won't have a guest. And here we have Passionate Sagi, and I am delighted to try and bring you on. So let's just, please bear with me, folks. I'm normally absolutely ready, but I do need to be able to kind of get our link. So let's just get the link here. Passionate Sagi. Here is the link. Okay. So if Passionate Sagi, can you see that? Okay, I have just sent you a link. Okay. So if you'd like to come on, that would be absolutely fabulous. Okay, we'd absolutely love that. And let's see. Okay. Oh, Carla, that's so kind. Let's move that there. Oh, you've really, really done well. Carla, thanks for that. I'm really pleased how you're getting on. I hope it's gone really well for you. Yeah, it's a method. That's the whole point. It's not meant to be difficult. It's meant to actually emphasize the depth that you can get. And here we've got a guest coming in. So, hi. Hi. How are you doing? Bear with me for a second. Okay, so let's just. Hello, my love. Hi. Bear with me for 1 second, sweetheart. I need to actually try and put you. I can see you, but for some reason, bear with me. Sorry, I'm just having a wee bit of trouble trying to get Passionate Sagi in. Passionate Sagi, we should be able to see you in a sec. Okay, let's see. Why is this not working? I'm sorry, I'm going to assign you to guest one, and let's see if that does it. I've got you. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Hello,
This is the
pleased to
first
meet.
time I've ever done a joint live with someone, but I was inspired to sort of come on and say how I found your videos inspiring, I have to say.
I am. Oh, you've made my day. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
I started listening a couple of days ago,
did
and
you
I just
really?
saw today that there was an advert to say you were going to be on live at 5. I didn't expect to come on live, but wanted to be on your stream. But I thought, no, it's nice to come on and let you know, because I've been doing reading
I
tarot
thought,
for about 4 years. I've actually started doing last year. I started teaching the basics to other people, like keywords, and because I was so passionate about it. But I'm always looking of ways to learn from others, and I just show me how easy it is to incorporate I know my zodiacs, I know some of the houses, but to incorporate them into the card, I just noticed how you start off at the beginning of each card, mentioning the houses and the zodiacs, and I just found it so easy to link it in, and I now feel that I can also use that. So you've helped me.
Do you hear me all right?
Oh yeah, I can hear
Can
you now.
somebody let me know? Oh, you're getting so much welcome coming in here. And look,
Thank you. It's not
yeah,
something I usually do, but
it wasn't so much a
it's just
tech issue that I couldn't get you on. It was because I'd not assigned you. It normally somebody's been on beforehand, and so it's like, okay, I was thinking I've got to assign you to the right, and it's like, yeah, I'd done that, but I'd not actually told it that you were guest one. So this is fantastic. What wonderful feedback. Honestly, isn't it all about the fact that if you enjoy it and you find something that works, and this method worked for me, and oh gosh, going back into the 90s is when I sort of trained with this, and I was really lucky to discover this method. And I went to it was called Tarot School, and off I went, and I did loads of workshops back in the day because you had to go to a classroom or a library or a community centre. I did everything and anything, and it was so much fun. But you know what? The teachers, they were so inspiring. And what I kind of did is put bits and pieces, and that's what I'm saying. I've got all of this combined to try and say, look, I know how hard it can be, but I also
yeah,
led a team of tarot readers that work professionally, and the problems sometimes were that it depends what kind of reader you want to be, doesn't it? You know?
yeah,
And sometimes people say, online now, because of, you know, the fact that we've had COVID and that, of course there's a lot of online reading going on, and that's wonderful because it's opened it right up. But
hmm
some of those are people that just want a yes or a no, or they want to be entertained. You know what I mean? Like we used to read the horoscopes, you know, today is this, and it would be a general statement, and that's wonderful. But there are people that actually really seek depth, and I found that that was the bit that I could give to people so that somebody could come and get that impartial advice.
yeah,
And this method supported the
yeah,
readers that I had. So, yeah, I started teaching it. And I'm so pleased that not only are you doing it, but you're teaching it as well.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely lovely.
And
Do you
it's
mind? Can
where
we
I
can
got
we
my
call you by a
name.
first name rather than mine's a
Yes,
gobful? I
I
know,
was
Anne
gonna say,
Marie.
um,
Just whatever
my
you'd
my
like us to
name is
call you.
Anne. My name
Oh,
is Anne,
I seem to
but
have lost you. Hold on, sweetie. What's happened? I don't seem to have your mic working. Okay, can you just kind of? I'm going to turn you up a little.
okay.
Okay. Um, Try again, my darling.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I don't know. I don't seem to have got anything muted. Bear with me.
My
Ah, I think we might have got you back now. Try again. I'm
can you hear
just
me
not
now?
getting your sound. It's coming up now. Would you like to try and talk now, my darling?
Okay, so my name is
No, I'm
Anne.
not getting this. Why? What's happened? We've lost sound. Sound. You've got right, but we're not. It's lovely that Victor's telling us that it's sounding fantastic, but I've
Can you
not
hear
got
me?
you. I'm going to.
Yeah, it's on mute.
Okay.
Can you?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I think what's happening is bear with me. Just bear with me. I've got a feeling. Okay, maybe it's not coming through my headset. Okay, try that. I'm scared that we'll get feedback now. Okay, so everyone can hear, yeah? People can hear Passionate Sagi, just not me. How
Okay,
very,
can you
very
hear me now?
strange. Okay, I'm going to try and bring it in this way. Okay, this is so annoying. Why can't I hear you? But now you're saying that I'm cut off. Okay, so let's. Okay, now let's see what happens now. Okay, if everyone can hear you, it's all okay. The problem is, Victor, that I cannot hear Passionate Sagi. So Passionate Sagi, I hope that let's take you up a little bit. Okay, can we try that and see if you're coming in? Are you on mute? No. Oh, maybe I've got you.
No, I'm not
Oh,
on
I've got
mute.
you. Got
You
it.
got me now? Yeah? Oh, that's good.
Sorry, everybody. I'm really sorry. Okay. Yeah. Tell us about what you've been doing, darling.
Okay. Right. So my name is Anne. 4 years ago, I got into tarot, and I was like the passionate student. I had a lesson every Monday, but throughout the week, I was constantly just studying and trying to find out more information. So that's where I got my name from. I'm Sagittarius, so it was passionate Saggy.
I'm
So that's who I am.
sorry.
So after that,
Mispronunciation.
uh, uh, yeah, it's the Saggy, passionate Saggy. So after that, I did one course, my sort of like my yoga teacher at the time, she was also a tutor, so I did a course with her. I went on to do sort of like a second course which would have incorporated the astrology, but unfortunately we sort of severed ties, and I only got halfway through. So I'm aware of the zodiac, I'm aware of the astrology, your houses and so forth, but actually incorporating it into my reading was my problem. So I've carried on doing my own studies, and as I am, I'm constantly looking for more information. Anyway, it was just last year, we all have readings as well. People read us. One of my go-to readers said, she feels it would be good for me to also teach the basics. So, like you, I've got like a PowerPoint slides, and I do a 8-week course, and just the basics for people to then start. And if they're like me, you will push. I kept a WhatsApp group as well, so that when the person finishes the course, they're still sort of practicing to keep it going. But my thing is, I still haven't done the advanced course with any of my students. I'm still working on that, but I still always have it in the back of my head. This thing of incorporating the zodiac, the houses, the astrology, all that. So it's like I oftentimes watch other people's videos. I got to yours, and it was the Empress, and straight away at the beginning, you start with Venus, and then you went on to, I think I watched the first part of your teaching lessons, and then I started watching the second yesterday, and it just so happened that today I saw a message saying you were doing a live. So I thought, no, I don't want to miss it. I really, because I just
Oh,
felt that
great.
the way you explain it is so simple, and for me, it was like that, that aha moment as when I'm reading, I now know how to include it into my readings to, to create expansion in a sense. So yeah, already I'm just finding it amazing the way how you doing your teaching, and I
So
feel I
many
can learn from
layers.
you.
It's like opening up, I suppose there's Russian dolls. Layers and layers and layers that it's been my passion for 30 years, and I'm always studying,
Hmm.
always on a course, or I used to be, or always running a course, or always, when I say a course, it could be crystals, it could be runes, it can be uh,
Yeah.
feng shui, everything. And
Never ending.
absolutely. And, it's just not as ready available for people in the way that it used to be, because there used to be an awful lot of community centres that would run these type of things, even if we were making sort of aromatherapy, sort of skincare, or turning around and playing with energy or psychometry. And it's lovely, but there's also so much depth that can come from the tarot. And as I said,
Yeah.
I can't not share this. That's what it's about. Because, to be honest, I'm lucky that I have plenty of clients, and I'm very, very blessed. I'm very, very grateful. And gosh, I'm a lucky girl. But it's this other side of me that's like, this works, I've got to share it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying. I'm absolutely delighted. You're getting so much. I'm going to show you some of the comments. You're making them laugh. They're absolutely loving it. A good
Thank you.
hi. Victor's saying I'm a Sag as well.
All right.
Carla's sending lots of love. Victor's saying it was a massive awakening for him in 2012, when he just felt,
Yeah.
and it fixed a tarot cards to get the feelings that he's much more spiritual. So
Mm.
we've all
And
got
and
our thing.
I have to say, those who are just starting, not to give up, because it is never ending. I mean, a lot of times I actually work on a line as well. So I'm doing my own private thing. I started off with crystals. I make crystal jewelry. So, and like you said, I'm so interested in going on to the runes and the sigils. It's like you just lead from one road to another, and it's never ending. So, for me, it's like once you find somebody like you who is giving people the basics and a simple understanding, then you can feed from that and keep going on from that. It's amazing. There's a lot of people, even me, I've got a channel on here. I don't really do much with it, but then when you find somebody who kind of like is able to explain it in the right manner for you to just turn around and say, I've got it. That's brilliant. This absolutely brilliant. So, I just have to say thank you.
Oh,
You've
gosh,
given
thank
me
you.
that aha moment, and I know,
No, no,
once I
no. Thank
continue watching your videos, I'll get it
I'm
definitely.
absolutely delighted, and the courses that are there will take you right beyond what I can do on sort of this platform, because obviously, I can't draw the diagrams or go through it in
Yeah.
way. And
Hmm.
they take you to professional level. Anyone will open their doors if you read like that. But the piece,
Yeah.
the puzzle that come together, like you're saying with the Empress, if that's just the self and it's just that question, what if somebody's actually saying about someone else? What if they're asking about, you know, where that happens to be in their life, in the past or in the present or in the future? What's the advice from the tarot? All of that comes from one
Yeah.
thread. But using pairs, I would really urge you to try and do that, because the pair,
Yeah.
it's like an alphabet, isn't it? The more letters that you learn, once you learn it, you go,
Mm.
hey, I've made a word. Wow, I've made a
Yeah.
sentence. Now I've got a paragraph. Then all of a sudden, the essay comes, the novel comes, the encyclopedias comes, the dissertation comes. You become an
Hmm.
expert, and you're definitely, definitely doing that. Oh,
Yeah. And
that's
one of the things
so.
as well, another thing I have to say, what caught me yesterday just watching one of your videos was when I work online, working on an online, like a telephone line is so different to having your own private clients. And you have to be quite quick. Everybody wants an answer now. And one of the things that actually gets me, even after 4 years, is when they say, tell me how that person feels about me. And sometimes you pull a card and you're thinking to yourself, I'm not getting this. It's not coming together for me. And there was just a couple of things that you said that I picked up, and I thought, now I can see what somebody, what you're saying about the feeling. Because okay, let's say you pick a wand. Oftentimes you think, okay, there's this passion there, or you pick say the cups, there's emotions. So straight away, it's easier to sort of like pick up on the person's feeling. But if you've got something like the swords, then you're thinking to yourself, what can I get out of this card, which is going to show somebody's feelings? You understand what I'm saying? So that
Absolutely.
as well, there were just certain things that I haven't come across before on other videos that really kind of helped me, inspired me, and gave me that moment of, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
And even after reading, after 4 years, and me reading every day on a line, or even, having private clients, you still get to a point where you're saying, I want to know more, I want to learn more. And
Absolutely.
I found it definitely from your videos. So absolutely brilliant.
Oh,
I'm grateful to have come across you.
oh gosh, no, I'm grateful that you've come on here. It's like, you know, I'll be honest with you, I changed the scenes. I use a system called Ecam, and I set up the scenes so that I wanted it to look as if it was a bit like morning television, and that it was friendly and have a chat, to do it like that, and for it to be warm and a place where people could come and ask their questions and share their knowledge with us, and or ask, and someone's going to have an answer somewhere along the line. Even if it's not today, someone might come back in a couple of weeks and say, gosh, got it, it's this. So that's exactly sort of what I wanted to do. But just kind of going back to it, it was like Zoe broke her arm. She's not been very well on top of that. And Zoe's been coming on as a student right from the beginning. Just, to let people know, hey, it's interactive, because people are shy. So I'm so grateful to you. I'm so very grateful. It takes a lot of guts to come on here, and bravo. It really does, because people don't mind coming on when they're kind of getting a little insight, as in reading, or something
Mhm.
like that. But it takes a lot of guts to turn around and say what you said tonight, which is your journey, and sharing that with us. But it's so inspirational, and it's like people will actually go, well, hang on a minute, I can make this happen, and I'm on
Yeah.
Instagram and all those platforms, and people all the time are saying, oh gosh, I hope soon I can make that transition into my spiritual life. This 9 to 5 is just, I'm getting too old for this, and
Mhm.
I want to do more with my spiritual work. And it's like, I find that absolutely, it saddens me that they can't make that transition perhaps sooner, because I know they need it. But it's also perhaps because, they're not ready. We think
Yeah.
we think we are. But if you're ready, you're going to turn around and you're going to just go, right, what's it going to take for me? And I suppose that ends up being what kind of reader you want to be. And you are finding your way by working on the line,
Mhm.
and you're also doing your own private clients, and how very, very different they are. Because
Yeah.
someone face to face, they are a very different kettle of fish, and they can be very aloof with you, or they can be
Mhm.
very, very friendly with you, or they can be, they're vulnerable, you know, or,
Yeah.
or, and one of the, doesn't matter who you've got, but you can be in a position of going, gosh, I've got to do something else, and time's up and I've got to go, and they don't want to leave you, and you're flattered by that, but you've still got to do your thing. So it
Yeah.
can be difficult. It can be difficult. Okay. Um, so it's one of those things where I would actually say everything and anything helps. And so when we share and when we actually learn, it's what it's all about. But absolute bravo to you for coming on here. Please, please just keep coming on. You're welcome to come on anytime you want, any pearls of wisdom, any questions, even just explaining. I mean, what would you say is the difference between somebody in person that, I mean, I haven't read for somebody in person for quite some time, simply because it is, I'm busy with the courses, busy with my clients, and putting it all together. I've taught myself, through the tarot, I've taught myself sound, I've taught myself graphics, I've taught myself how to use Ecamm, how to make files, how to write. I'm not
Yeah.
a writer. I'm not a writer. I've got a lot to say, but I'm a talker, not a writer. So
Yeah.
it's pushed me into that. And so all of that has come from tarot. And from the tarot
Uh-huh.
to turn around and travel the world, because I was working remotely, gosh, 15 years ago, before anybody started to do it. It was like, I don't want a shop. I don't want to be that I'm tied to living in a certain area that, if I move, I'll lose my clients. I'd been up and down the UK, Scotland, Brighton, oh gosh, Somerset, Cornwall, you name it, Manchester, Liverpool, Derby, Nottingham, the big centres like Olympia, Excel Centre, all those places where they would do psychic or tarot events, or mind, body and spirit, or mind, body and soul, whatever they were called. Even being able to sort of do articles for the magazines that kind of came out in the 90s, I think they're still around, Spirit and Destiny, Soul, all of those kind of things. And absolutely, meeting people. And two of the people that really inspired me was Jonathan Caner, absolutely fabulous astrologer, and never met him. Unfortunately, he left us way too young. But I was fortunate enough, life's funny, isn't it? As a driving instructor, I taught his nephew, Oscar. And it was Oscar's dad that's brothers with Jonathan Caner. And what a talented family, inspirational, all creative, inspiring people, amazing people on your journey. And that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just the tarot. The tarot has opened all of these doors that would not have been opened,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you
I
can
think I
suddenly
think
become
also
creative.
being on I think also being on that spiritual plane, that spiritual journey, because for me, like I said, I started off with crystals. I make sure crystal jewelry. I had my own shop. So I went to different events and I met a lot of sorts of people who did astrology and, sort of people who did tarot at the time. That's what drew me to tarot. But like going back to your question in how I sort of work and how I feel, which is better, I I actually don't. I do face to face via video call. So I still don't have clients sort of around me. I've got this thing about my own sacred space.
Yeah,
So I do video calls. I do prefer that much more than working online telephone line.
yeah,
The reason being, it's still quite personal, and
makes
I
sense.
also like to give my clients rituals, things in terms of manifestation, because a lot of people, they come, it's financial problems, and
Yeah,
so I do like to do things like that. So working personally with someone as in private, I do tend to prefer that. On the line, you get a lot of people, and I mean, I don't want to sort of like put anybody down, but a lot of people are just desperate for the answers that they want.
yeah,
So if you don't answer it in the way they want it, that can be a problem.
yeah,
And also, I find with the line, you get a lot of people who, even when you're giving them the answers for the rest of the week, they're still coming back for the same answer. Whereas when it's private readings, I tend to have readers who come like once a month, once every 2 months, once every 3 months. So they give it time for things to work out for them. They give it time to see the results. And I just feel you can build up a better rapport with some of the clients as well.
yeah,
So this is why I tend to, for me, it's more. And I have to say that I use the telephone line as a practice, and I don't want it to sound bad, but it was a way of for me to keep consistently reading people and
of
growing as
course.
the time has gone
Experience.
on.
You're
Yeah.
walking the boards of your career, and you are, and this is, I have to say that we are so blessed to have you on, Anne. We really
Thank
are.
you.
Thank you, because I don't think people have your experience. What I mean by that, I didn't mean, it's there are so many different ways that you can do it online, and
Hmm.
have definitely had a very diverse experience of how you are working. And it makes perfect sense to me. You're becoming a complete master of the art of your love and passion. And if
Hmm.
you're only doing it on one platform, I think it could possibly make or break you, because
Yeah.
you could go. I remember teaching Jess, one of my students in the tarot group, and she went right through. And very gifted young lady, wonderful, trained veterinary nurse, beautiful young lady, very, very gifted, pagan background family, lots and lots of knowledge, definitely a very gifted empath and psychic. And she wanted the tarot. But as soon as she went on the lines, she just froze and said, I can't read in this way, because it
Hmm.
wasn't for her. And
Yeah.
others, you know, in actual fact, I find it easier online, the opposite of you, because
Hmm.
um, I found that they wouldn't get up off the table, and let the next one sit down, and I'd have a queue outside. And it was like,
Hmm.
then you're not pleasing anybody. So I'm not very good at kind of saying time's up, you know.
Yeah.
So and also I thought, well, can you make that connection online? And mine's telephone, um, email. I'm not a writer. Messages, I want to change it 100 times. So by the time I've done it, it's no good for anybody. I want to give them depth. I can't do that in a message.
Yeah.
And so, when I'd go to Mind, Body, and Spirit sort of shows, they'd all look around, and the queue would be there and kind of go, how long? And I'd feel awful that, well, I'm torn between finishing this and telling you when it's going to be, and, all of that. And also all that noise in there, and other people's egos and vibes, and you can feel everything, can really be very, very draining for someone that's sensitive and using all your skills, can't it? So
Hmm.
I think that people that do it messaging is wonderful, but it's not for me. But I have dipped like you. And I think that when you work out what kind of reader you want to be, and that's what I'm saying, do you want to be a reader that's doing personal? Do you want to be a reader that's on the lines? Do you want to be a reader that's actually just got your own little thing with your email? Dan, someone that comes to me as in quite often, says, Marie, I just want to do one card and just charge, small amount, and I'm happy with, gosh, sometimes he'll have 45 in the morning, and it's like, I couldn't deal with that. I wouldn't need, that would take me, because of the depth. We're all different. And as long
Yeah.
as you find who you are, you see, and Jess walked away from it and she went back to her day job. And then
Yeah.
gradually she kind of went, I know what it is. It's crystals for me and it's readings. And so
Yeah.
she set up a caravan, moved off towards, a city on the sea. And she does her readings from her caravan, which allows her to be with her family. She only does a little. And she, like you, she's saying you've got to give it time for it to happen. Whereas some readers, on the lines, they will actually, they're running their lives by it. So therefore, there's big, important decisions that affect a lot of people. They're not asking the same questions, not at all. They are going into next, 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 next.
Hmm.
A lot of people that I've got a lot of VIPs that are responsible for not just businesses, but countries, and we won't go there. But there are certain things, and so that's a huge responsibility. So they need a bit of nurture too. They need some impartial advice on X, Y, Z. Boom, that's it. We're not telling them what to do. We're just laying out that map and saying, how's it
Yeah.
at the moment? It's X, Y, Z. So being a different, there are many different kinds of, how you're doing the reading. It's also like, the generic, for a good YouTube, it's pick a pile, it's kind of, every star sign. And, you know, it's hard because you're either going to feel, I wanted to give more, or you're going to feel that you're doing little, but a lot of people. So
Yeah.
that's down to the individual to decide. And once you crack that and you're happy with where you are, and for you, it sounds like you love that one-to-one and you love that kind of connection with the person as in front of you. I think that's amazing. We are all so blessed to be getting this absolute information from you, and because it's so helpful to others, because they're maybe at the start of their journey, or a bit like Jess, she was ready to give up, and then suddenly
No.
it came along, and it's like you can't, because out of anyone I've ever met, Jess had parents that they were born for this thing. It's absolutely wonderful, really, really was.
Can I,
Okay.
can I just say one thing I say to all my students? And I mean, I've done about 3 rounds of tutoring now, and I've got, I'd say about 9 people I've had so far, and I think I'd say sort of 6, 7 stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I've got at least 2 people out of those, say 6, 7, who are ready to go off and do their own thing. And this was just
That's
last year, April, I started. So for me, and the way I say to my students in the group is, every reader is unique. There is
absolutely,
not anyone who is wrong in what they're doing.
absolutely,
It's how you interpretate the cards. It's not about, you can have in the group, one thing I always sort of promote is you can have 3, 4 different answers from one reading,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
So never ever feel like, okay, I can't do this, or I'm not picking it up, because I believe in spirit, connecting with spirit. Some people will just say, okay, it's just reading the cards. But the point is, it's what you draw from that card which gives you your answers.
Absolutely. It's the symbology of the cards that causes the foundation for you to go, okay, I've got the meanings, I've got the understanding, I've got the blueprint.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, everything you've ever done, all your crystal work, all your intuition work, all your mediumship, or your, psychometry, and it all comes in different sort of, combinations.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And that's what these courses are all about. And that's why
yeah,
the cards that, trying to give people that kind of, that support, that support. And so it's absolutely wonderful to have you along. I will actually try my best to say to you, please, 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 if it's a convenient time for you, do join us, do come and share, and try and help people kind of read that card a little bit. What are they getting from it? Um, it really is about the fact that someone might say, well, I read that card like this, and
yeah,
that is what I'm looking for someone to say, I always see it like this, I always see
yeah.
it like that. But this is
I have my own library as well. A library that helps me, that somebody else. I may
exactly,
have the keyword, but I also have a library that I draw,
yeah,
like the Hierophant. The Hierophant I struggle with, but one of the things I do, and I was watching yours actually, and one of the things I get from the Hierophant, I get a lot of times, especially when you've got like an interview, that is the card that shows me there's an interview.
absolutely,
You know, I get a
absolutely,
reunion from that card, reunion, as well as I get tradition, religion, I get marriage, I get the
absolutely.
rules, but I have my own library because sometimes I struggle with the
Yeah,
original meaning.
no worries at all. We'll be doing that card in a couple of no, we'll be doing that card next, won't we? Of course we will.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4. So probably next Thursday, I think, because we're on card 4. So yeah, it will be. That's a biggie. That is a biggie. You're absolutely right. Wow,
Hmm.
so much. So we'll come on next week and actually Would you be available on Thursday again at 5?
Well, I usually work till 3 o'clock on a Thursday, so as long as I haven't got anything else coming on, I will join you.
Well,
Yeah.
will you just, if you're around, will you say, "Hey, I'm here"? That's all I'd do. I don't want you to make any other commitments. We've all got busy lives, and you've got to earn a living and all the rest of it. So, also, Anne, go and have a pop onto my website and have a look at the courses, because it will
Will
go
do.
into some massive details. But I think where you might find it interesting is go and look at the intermediate. The intermediate,
Okay.
absolutely out of this world, because that might be your next bit where you might go, oh my gosh, the intermediate is, it's like nothing you've probably come across before. It's my signature course. So have a little look at
Okay.
that, see what you think, because it ties in with everything we're doing, but it will expand on that. Right. What I'm
Lovely.
going to do is I'm going to say ta-ta to you, and thank you so much. Can everybody
And thank you for
say
having
thank
me.
you? Oh, no problem. You've been asked. Passionate Saji, what part of London are you from? From Carla Kendall.
Okay. I'm in the southeast London. I'm
Southeast London.
Originally from Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Been here 30. I've been here 30 years.
Oh
So yeah, more a Londoner.
yeah, you are like me. I was in Yorkshire, and spent 30 years in London, and the north, but southeast. I worked in Dulwich for a while, around that area.
Okay, I know Dulwich very well.
Yeah.
We do have things in common because I used to be a nursery worker. Went from a practitioner right up to acting manager at Senko, so I think we've got things in common
Wow,
here.
we've got an awful
Yeah,
lot in common. Oh,
yeah.
wow. Carla Kendall saying, yeah, love that you're from Southeast London. Ah, because Carla Kendall, I think she's
Lovely.
sorry, if I remember rightly. Oh, that's yeah, and it all comes from that. But it's all part of opening the doors, isn't it? Where you
Hmm.
teach children, do this, do that, do the other, all comes together. And it doesn't all, you can't see it. If you knew what the film was going to be about, you wouldn't watch it, would you? You know,
Hmm.
if you knew what the book was, you probably wouldn't read it.
Yeah,
And so life is
yeah,
open one door, it opens a million others.
yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. So happy to have you in. So grateful, and thank you so much. And I
And
just hope
thank
the
you.
sound was right. Sharing that, for me, just hearing your story, absolutely love it, because I can identify with it, and I think a lot of other people can too. And so, if you want to be able to do that and you feel that you haven't got enough meat on the bone, as it were, these are the courses that I realized I needed to make so that people could give that extra, and to give that depth, and to give that nuanced sort of answer to it, so that in actual fact, if you've got somebody that's going, come on, I want to know, that you actually have all the tools on the table to say,
Yeah,
yeah, I've got the answers here. Certain ethical things that you wouldn't, certain things that you don't want to touch, that's your own boundaries. And that's what I'm saying. What kind of reader do you want to be? So these courses will get you to professional level, folks. And, it's all about learning. Right.
yeah.
I'm going to say thank you very much. And I am also
Okay.
to say to you, have a wonderful week. And let's hope we see you soon. All right, my darling.
And same to you.
Thank you.
Okay then.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye,
Bye.
darling. So you've got me back. Thank you for that. And so the lovely Anne was with us there. So we've gone over time, but what a treat. How wonderful was that? And such a lovely, lovely welcome. I just wanted to be able to show you this. So I put them out for you. So I might as well turn around and try and show you. My scene is changing a little bit slower than I wanted to. Okay, so please bear with me for a moment. We were trying desperately to try and get the table on the scene. So let's just, you don't see my keyboard there, okay? So what have I got there for you? There, that's better. And that's just my microphone, believe it or not, my little wireless mic meter. So I just wanted to share these with you, different emperors from different decks. So they're all very different, and sometimes people can get stuck because they are perhaps all too often beautiful cards, as you can see demonstrated here. These are all Rider-Waite based, but it can be that the deck that you're actually using may not be right for you as a beginner, or might not be right to you in some way. So this one is the Hanson Roberts Tarot. This one is the Winter Waite. And so when you're learning and you want to do the courses, you know, different emperors, to there, look, from this deck, this is the Groovy Waite deck, and that is an extra emperor called Smokey. But you see, as lovely as it is, you may not be able to get the information you truly want. There's the emperor, lovely image, great stuff going on there. But the symbology, once you've cracked it, you can go on and use your decks like nothing on earth, you know, and Father Christmas here. They're fun decks, but they may not be helping you with your journey to be able to, you know, you love them. You might pick up symbology. Some people might pick up on the colours and it speaks to them. It's whatever floats your boat. But if you are struggling, do have a look at your deck and just make sure that it's the right one for you. And a Rider-Waite based deck, such as this one or this one, will definitely be universal to any sort of courses or information that you're getting. The others, you know, yeah, that's where you can use your intuitive self. So I hope that helped. That's the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, because I'll get asked. That's the Trippin-Waite Tarot. They're all lovely. This is the plastic Rider-Waite deck. Yes, it's plastic. Okay. This one is Morgan Greer. I think we've done that one, haven't we? The Groovy Waite, yeah, the Winter Waite, and the Hanson Roberts. Made for small hands, but again, very, very different. So if you are struggling, have a look at your deck. Maybe that might be what it's all about. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you all again soon. Sorry about the sound problems and the fact that I wasn't prepared really for somebody to come on. Before I go, hi, Patsy. How are you, my darling girl? Hi. Patsy has been following me for a long time. Patsy, cuddle. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you. How are you getting on? How are your studies going? And how's your tarot journey going as a reader? I know that you were right in the midst of it and not easy for you because I think you'd also got a day job. So it is a lot of responsibility for you and your family. I know that. Finally, I've got to see you, she says. Oh, I'm always delighted. And we had Passionate Saji. So anyone, please do watch this because Passionate Saji was absolutely fabulous. You know, I think I was saying Sagi. Saji, I get it now. Sagittarius, she's a passionate Sagittarius. Absolutely. What a lovely thing to say. Thank you for the lessons. Victor, thank you very much too. Thank you for your time. Everybody, you know, it's time for me to go. We've gone way over, but wow, wasn't it worth it? And I'm sorry if it went off at tangents about the lesson, but I hope you got your lesson, your educational points that are there, so that you know all about that card, the Emperor, and hugs. I'm so pleased to see you, Patsy. I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. UK time. Lovely to see Patsy. She's really, really been making progress over the last couple of years. And Patsy, you know what? You can come on and interact and talk to people just like Anne did. If you didn't see all of it, Patsy, do watch the replay. It's so much fun and absolute jewels gold tonight. Thank you to my guest, Passionate Saji. Thank you, she's saying. Thank you for having me on. It was such a wonderful surprise. And yeah, it was really nice. I will only bring you on if you kind of tell me, you know, sort of just like Passionate Saji did, Anne. Anne told us that what she'd been doing on the comments here, so I was able to actually know that it was safe to bring her on, because it's quite a responsibility too. Thank you for your time. I will see you on Tuesday when we do combinations of how to use the Emperor with minor arcana cards. Until then, take care of yourselves, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.